His only main rival is in himself. To be honest, he needs just to get his technique around those 10 barriers right and spot on, and he could well challenge those marks, as you were rightly saying.
Coral on the outside, national champion for Ukraine. Good time as well, 51.96. Profunda of Switzerland will be chasing him, 52.5 this year. Alex Ibanez, PB towards the end of June. He's only 17. What a stage on which he's performing. He's going to have to get out hard because Sigurd Bergens is a 10.55 windy 100-meter runner, 50.8 fastest in this field. The Swede will be in the centre of your picture in the distinctive yellow in lane 5. Mancini, prolific winner at home, 52.2 for the Italian in 4. Krenzlin of Germany, 51.6. He's a 7.05 indoor runner over 60 metres. And Levente Bodrogi of Hungary, national silver medalist earlier this year. So, Bodrogi, Hungary in 2. Krenzlin of Germany in 3, Mancini of Italy in 4, Bergens of Sweden, the fastest in the field in 5, Ibanez of Spain, the 17-year-old in 6, Profunda of Switzerland 7, Karol of Ukraine in lane 8. It's the first of 5 heats. The top 4 plus 4 non-automatic qualifiers advance into the semi-finals. The Swede in 5 on paper, the favourite for the first heat. Lovely high knee lift from Mancini as they explode from the blocks. 4th from the left-hand side is the Swede. I tell you what, it's pretty even at the moment. Good running by Mancini to stay with Bergens at the moment. Karol has gone out hard, but he had to, the Ukrainian, because he's got big challenges to come. Bergens is coming up on the shoulder of Ibanez, but on the inside, Mancini's putting the Swede under big pressure here. Top 4 will make sure. And now the Italian just beginning to show the first signs of fatigue. Bergens is looking around. Yeah. Bergens, Ibanez, Mancini, and I think the German Krenzlin also making certain of that 4th automatic spot. Well, he weathered the storm, Bergens, didn't he? Because Mancini put him under a little bit of pressure at the start of the last 100 metres. But he could sense the fatigue creeping into the Italian's legs, who's been rewarded with a PB. And there we go. Great running by the Swede in the end. Ibanez of Spain making it through. And PBs for 3rd and 4th. Decent running.
Decent running indeed, because 51.84 for a first round heat is not hanging around, of course. I mean, when you look at what's gone on at previous championships, that's very respectable indeed from Bergens, and it'll be a good way of clearing out the cobwebs for the Swede. Of course, former champion Bergström, recent vintage, now very much a battler on the senior stage at European Championships. Mancini, tall, long-legged. Technique just starts to fall apart slightly over the final 2 hurdles as he tires. And Ibanez comes through very strongly, the 17-year-old Spaniard out in lane 6. Bergström, though, looking very calm and composed. I'm sure he'll be able to raise his game even further. Wouldn't be surprised to see him challenging his best in the semi-final and perhaps the final.
Bergens comfortably inside 52 seconds. And Krenzlin was indeed 4th. I thought he was, with 52.29.
So, well, those field events carry on. We've now got the second heat of the men's 400 metres hurdles, including Michael Rada. But there is indeed 6 other men in this competition, and this is Esilog Baligi of Turkey, 17 years of age. Just inside 53 seconds, so he's got a lot to do to make it through. Zambul and then De Jong. Potentially could be up there. And then the great Michael Rada, who we've talked about. He's fourth on the European all-time list. European under-18 champion last year. And European, world under-20 silver medalist. Bolognese, 18-year-old from Italy. He's already seen one Italian go through in the previous heat. Regina of Slovakia and Colli on the inside. So all eyes on Michael Rada. What can he do? Well, don't expect a championship best in the heats, but it's worth reminding you that that's belonged to Timothy Chalet from Rieti in 2013. 49.23. Rada has run faster than that this year. It's Christian Collet on the inside, the Frenchman, just 17 years of age. And Rada out very quickly indeed, already closing down on Sepp de Jong on his outside. He's running a very controlled race. Behind them, everybody else is running at full tilt. Rada, oh, that looks like the Turk on the outside falling to the wayside. But Rada, he's not even getting out of second gear. He's just so majestic around the back straight. And he's coming through round the second bend, looking wonderful. And he's taking it so easy, as he can afford to do. Behind him, Bolognese doing well. Colli as well, the Frenchman and the Italian on Rada's inside at the moment in the qualifying positions. But it's Rada. And what a great hurdler, what a great technician he is. And he eases up with about 30 metres to go. 52.43 unofficially, and he barely broke sweat. What do you make of that, Rob Walker?
The very best in life, in any profession, make something that's very difficult look easy when it isn't, and that's Rada. It wasn't disrespectful to the other opponents. He is conserving his energy because he knows he has a chance not only of the championship record, but of the European under-20 record, which has stood for a very, very, very long time. Real disappointment there on the outside. Contrasting emotions. I mean, it was poetry in motion. I agree with you. When I watched him, well, that was just an indication as to what happened to the Turk on the outside. He's carrying a niggle, perhaps, when he got here. His leg lift off the final barrier was so high. He's obviously done brilliant work on his hamstrings and Pilates and all sorts of strength and conditioning. Watch him over this last barrier. Watch the height with that lead leg. I mean, it's just incredible. He did exactly what he needed to do. He's keeping his powder dry for an explosive performance in the final. I think we're going to see a massive PB from him in the showdown unless we have appallingly strong winds.
Yes, Rada, big smile on his face coming through. I'm sure his sister Nina, who's also competing at these championships, is somewhere cheering him on. A little bit of a walk in the park, more like a stroll in the Ratina Stadium. Michael Rada, 52.43, coming home just inside half a second ahead of Paolo Bolognese, who was putting a considerably larger amount of work into it, and Bregini, Colli coming through to take the third and fourth spots and the automatic qualifying places for the semi-final.
Anyway, right, heat 3. Well, I don't know how they follow what Rada's done. However, you know, you never know how things are going to unfold. Happy birthday to Iker Moreno, national champion. 51.07 this year, the Spaniard in lane 5. So it's top 4 plus 4 non-automatic qualifiers. Salnitra of Malta on the outside, then Philippe Landon, national champion last year for Switzerland. He's down to 51.7. Tommaso Ardazzone got a bronze last year in Banska Bystrica. Then the birthday boy, many happy returns. National silver medalist in the decathlon last year. A bit like Ashton Eaton, rocking and rolling between the decathlon and the 4 hurdles. Kvaratskhelia of Georgia in 4. Von der Eye, based in Copenhagen, the Dane in 3. Kovacs, not Joe, it's Adam, the Hungarian, 52.3. Got a laugh from Phil Minchell, and nobody else probably will anyway.
I think it was a grimace.
Thomas Canavet, twice a national champion for France, and I tell you what, he's pretty nifty indoors, 8:38 over the 60 hurdles. So Canavet, the fastest in the field, along with the birthday boy, Moreno, the Spaniard in 5. Top 4 making it through. And we've had 7 qualifiers inside 53 seconds so far. Let's see what we get here. Canavet on the inside. How will he eat up the stagger? And then Moreno, 4th from the outside. Spaniard in lane 5. So an unusual scenario where the fastest man in the field is on the inside in lane 1. Good running by Von der Eye, who's already up on Kvaratskhelia of Georgia. And Landolt of Switzerland has gone out very, very hard, knowing he needed to. Ardazzone of Italy also running well. Now 2nd from the left-hand side, although he's absolutely smashed that barrier. Now comes Von der Eye on the inside. He's built like a Viking. He's an absolute monster. Now Canavet coming through from lane 1. What a fascinating race. The Italian's technique has been all over the place. Can he hang on? Oh dear, Von der Eye smashed that last barrier. He's lost all his momentum. Wow. Canavet came through really well. Ardazzone is one of the 4, despite the fact that he hit the barrier on the 2nd bend. Von der Eye lost all his momentum off the last barrier, which was really unfortunate. Landolt ran well, but Canavet timed that run really nicely. Congratulations to the birthday boy. He's also there. But the big casualty there was Von der Eye. He made lots of the running round that 2nd bend, but smashed the barrier coming down into the home straight and was run out of it. But good effort by the Frenchman to take it.
Yeah, I liked what the Frenchman was doing there on the inside. He was actually very, very composed, technically very good. I mean, what you're often seeing is some fairly ragged hurdling from some of these men who are really getting to this level based on 400-meter speed. But Canavet had good technique, and I think that's what might have set him apart as well. Apart from Rada, I have to say, I think he had the best hurdling technique of what we've seen so far. Some of the other men, when they get tired, it all starts to fall apart, and it's more a case of climbing over the barriers. But Canavet literally and metaphorically took that in his stride.
Good run from lane 1 from Thomas Canavet. Iker Moreno enjoying his birthday. And the top 4 all coming home inside 53 seconds. Kovacs is in a non-automatic spot at the moment.
But this is the 4th heat of 5, penultimate track race of this morning. And it's the 4th heat of the men's 400 metres hurdles. So star performer at this stage in the competition, Oliver Parker of Great Britain, Northern Ireland, improved in Birmingham to 50.48 back in June. So, Tabor of the Netherlands on the outside, Dewhurst in lane 7, Ilic of Serbia, and then Oliver Parker. Well, if Roars can win your races, he'd be halfway there. Damien of Romania. And There's a quite raucous contingent of Romanian supporters not very far from us. Good luck to them.
Making their presence felt.
Semyon of Ukraine, and on the inside, the third of three very good Czech athletes. We've seen Michael Rada in action already, and we've got Marit Varner, the silver medalist at the European Under-18s, to come in the next heat. But this is very much a race where the eyes are on Oliver Parker. Only man under 51 seconds this year. A couple of other men, Balkar, Damian, under 52 seconds in this race. So from the inside, Balkar, Czechia, Semyon, Ukraine, Damian, Romania, Parker, Great Britain, Ilic, Serbia, Dewhurst, Ireland, and on the outside, Tabor of the Netherlands. Calling them up there. Just waiting to see.
There's a lot of noise from the Romanians. They're in the stand just in front of us. There's a group of about 7 or 8 of them, making a huge amount of noise. Tension growing here, Phil.
I think it might be Dewhurst. I'm looking at my monitor here, and he is indicated, and yes, with the naked eye on the replay, you can see that it was Dewhurst who got a flyer. He was inside that 0.1 threshold for a full start. Now, sometimes, like we've talked about at European Under-18 level, I think a little bit of leniency can be exercised. But the judges, well, let's see what view they take. Yeah, you can see Dewhurst. It's a bit too quick out of the blocks for the Irishman.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Yes. Yeah, before it even gets to Ethan Dewhurst out in the 7th lane, we know what the result is going to be with them holding that red card. I'm afraid this competition has come to a very rapid end for Ethan Dewhurst. Yes, and I think he already knows, just by the expression on his face, how things are going to go. What a pity. Nevertheless, it is the correct decision. There's no doubt at all he did get a flyer. There's no dispute about it. Sporting applause as Ethan Dewhurst takes leave of the stage here in the Ratina Stadium. So they settle into their blocks for the second time of asking.
On your mark.
So once again, from the inside in lane 2, Balkar, Czechia, Semyon, Ukraine, Damian, Romania, Parker, Great Britain, Northern Ireland, Ilic of Serbia, and out in lane 8, Tabor of the Netherlands.
Set.
Well, Parker out very well at the moment in lane 5, hurdling very nicely. Damian as well, just on his inside. So it's the Great Britain doing very well at the moment. He's up on Ilic on his outside. No, he's clipped a hurdle there, but it didn't stop his momentum. Well, Damian doing well at the moment. He's right up on the shoulder of Parker. So it's the Briton and the Romanian out in lanes 5 and 4. Shoulder to shoulder coming into the home straight. 2 barriers to go. And Parker, though, easing back. Damian trying to... Oh! Almost came to grief there, Romanian, but he managed to stay upright. That was a shock to the system. But Oliver Parker coming through very comfortably indeed. 51.62. Just over a second outside of his personal best, but times don't really matter at this stage. It's going to be a target when he gets to the semi-finals and the finals. David Stefan Damian manages to stay upright despite wrapping himself around that final hurdle and stumbles his way into second place coming across the line Balkar comfortably taking third, and Tabor right on the outside from the Netherlands. They're the 4 automatic qualifiers.
There was definitely a little wobble from Parker down that back straight, maybe just a clip of a barrier, but Damian just gave himself a moment or two of worry off that final barrier. He could have fallen, he hit that pretty hard. The Dutchman Tabor was just about hanging on for 4th spot there. Yet another Czechia athlete through, Balkar, with Varner still to come. He sat backwards after hitting that barrier. It was a good job that Damian had such a big cushion on those in 3rd and 4th. But Parker, nice qualification, put his face right into the camera. Oh, well done by the director. I think you were reading notes at that point. Yeah, oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm here, and I'm through to the semis, which he certainly is.
Yes. Good result from Oliver Parker, despite that clipping the hurdle. I think it was the 4th hurdle. Coming home very comfortably ahead of David Stefan Damian. No problems for either of those men. Well, Romanian.
Right, 5th and final heat then on the track for the men's 4 hurdles. So let's just take a quick clarification. Rodorfer on the outside, national indoor champion over the 400 and the pole vault. Unusual combo. Inside Rodorfer is the Croatian Surek, national champion over both hurdles, the 110 as well as the 4. Then Nicolas Martinez, decent Spaniard, inside 52 seconds this year. 3rd in the national championships. Marek Varner, PB of 50.4. He's 1.4 seconds down on his teammate Rada, and yet he's the 2nd quickest in the entire field. Quinten de Vos, 51.5 this year. Finn Rode, 3rd in the national championships for Germany. And Rayan Murtada of Great Britain. Excellent PB on the 29th of June in Germany, 51.29. And just to give you a little clarification, it's 4 non-automatic qualifiers. And it's 53.3 required. So Varner going in lane 5, Murtada of Great Britain on the inside, but in lane 2, one is empty. There's Varner. And there is a confirmation. It's de Jong with 53.32, the quickest of the non-automatic qualifiers. In the old days, we called them fastest losers. We don't anymore. This is the quietest the whole stadium's been for the entire session. Long wait for these men. That's Murtada in 2, Road Germany 3, De Vos Netherlands 4, Varner Czechia 5, Martinez Spain in 6, Surek Croatia 7, Rodorfer Austria in lane 8. Rada may be the favourite, but teammate Varner is the one taking centre stage in Heat 5. Absolute silence in the stadium, respectful hush here from a Finnish crowd who know and love their athletics, which is why they're proving to be such great hosts.
Set.
Well, I can't remember an expectant hush like that on the opening day of a championship for a while. Murtada, steady as he goes at the moment. Varner beginning to close down the gap on a very high quality Spaniard, Martinez, who now himself is up on Surek, the Croatian. Now Varner beginning to take the lead. No move yet from Murtada, but remember that stagger is deceptive. De Vos coming back onto the shoulder of Varner. And Murtada has a lot to do. One of the fastest in the field on paper is going to have to go some here. And De Vos is putting Varner under a little bit of pressure. Spaniard Martinez just about hanging on for 3rd. Oh, everybody jogging across the line. Road of Germany came through to make sure he qualified. I liked watching Varner there. He almost walked across the line. De Vos came back, but minimum energy expended. Oh, De Vos will be gutted. 51.5, he's equalled his PB. If only he'd done a tiny bit faster. Well, he's saving himself, isn't he?
I'd like to think so, but that was still the fastest of the 5 heats this morning. Oh, what a good run, though, from De Vos. Also, Varner looking as though he's running well within himself, the Czech. Perhaps a little bit sloppy there. It's sometimes happens down the back straight when they're changing the strides and throws them out, and especially at this level. Nevertheless, good race as well, though, from De Vos and Varner. Neither of them needed to push terribly hard. There was quite a distance between themselves. Murtada clattering the hurdles on the inside, completely thrown out of sync his strides, but De Vos just decides to accelerate a little, beat Varner to the line.
So De Vos, joint PB, and I'm sure there's quicker to come. Varner was walking across the line, Martinez and Rode making short. Murtada smashed the final barrier, and that put paid to his aspirations of making it through.
I think Murtada
hang on,
just
I beg your pardon.
Through as a fastest.
Murtada might have taken, he did. Murtada and Rodorfer, I beg your pardon, they have taken, by thousandths of a second, they have taken the last of the non-automatic spots. Wow, what a let-off for the Briton. So, I mean, you can't see the name of the favourite Rada there because he basically walked for 150 metres of his 4 hurdles, but nonetheless, excellent qualification from De Vos. There at last is the name of Michel Rada, 52.43, the 13th quickest qualifier, but miles ahead and in the class of his own. Do you think the championship record or the all-time European age group record might be on the line, Phil?
Championship record, yes. European record, it's a tough one. That stood for 41 years to Budka from the old Soviet Union. That's a tall order. But the championship record, I think so.
For the men's and women's 4 hurdles. First 2+2 through to what promises to be 2 brilliant, brilliant finals over the weekend.
Indeed it is. So as you look down here, these heats. Out in lane 8, Matej Brezina, the Slovak runner. One of the slower men in this particular semi-final. Bolognese, a great heat yesterday. Marek Varner, number 2 on the European list this year, behind his compatriot Michael Rada. 1 second slower than him, but 50.48 is the quickest man in this field. Against of Sweden, a useful runner as well, so too Ibanez. Ibanez was another man who looked impressive in his heats yesterday. Krenslin. 51.69 Krenslin will have to raise his game to get amongst the automatic qualifiers. Kovac crept through as the fastest non-automatic qualifier, as did Fergus Tabor of the Netherlands on the inside. So as Rob was saying, first 2 in each of these 3 semi-finals, and the 2 fastest non-automatic qualifiers progress to tomorrow's final. It's tough, this 3 days, 3 consecutive heats for this age group. Great learning experience for them. Man to look out for on times against and Varner, but Bolognese was very impressive as well. He could well stir things up. So it is the Italian who's away quickly as well in lane 7. Also going well right on the outside at this stage, Brezina. Not expecting him to stay with it all the way through. Varner now starting to close down on Bolognese. Had a first 100 that was fairly conservative, but now the Czech runner has really started motoring down the back straight and into this second bend. This is good hurdling from Varner, and now he's clearly ahead of the Brest. Bolognese doing well just inside him, hasn't panicked after seeing Varner go past him. Brezina, after that really quick first 300, starting to tire slightly. Bergens coming through. The other quick man in this field, now starting to pull away. Glancing over his shoulder, Varner eases up. 51.40. Well, that went to form. The fastest two men go through as the two automatic qualifiers, Varner and Bergens. I think it's a personal best, though, for Brezina. If he came through for third, as I think he did, I think he might well have got a personal best there. It's not showing on the screen at the moment, but good run, though, from the Slovak athlete, running blind for much of the race until he saw Varner go past him on the inside.
This was the moment where Bergens began to believe he could qualify. And watch on the extreme left of picture, Brezina, he almost fell over. He was wading through the treacle. Bolognese was dipping for the line at the end, and Brezina crashed to the ground. But I was quite impressed there with Bergens because he didn't panic. But Varner showing real class there. I mean, Czechia, I think they've got three in the men's 400 final. They've got Varner to bring into the mix. They've got Rada to bring into the mix. I mean, they have got a brilliant team of one-lap runners with barriers or no barriers.
Well, it may well be that Varner's the man to miss out when it comes to the final. He may be brought in to run one of the heats, perhaps, of the relays, but Varner coming home in front in this particular semi-final, 51.40, followed home by Bergens, 51.64.
Right. Semi-final 2 gives us a chance to see one of the stars of this entire event, Michael Rada of Czechia, going in lane 5, the overwhelming favourite for the gold, with a possibility of taking down a 12-year-old championship record and a 40-year-old European record. We shall see. Finn Rode on the outside, PB on the 12th of July for Germany. Iker Moreno, very good decathlete, national championship decathlete, silver medalist last year. Then Oliver Parker, massive PB and big improvement this year. He was the second quickest qualifier in the heats, and he's going to have to get out fast because there's the rock star Rada, looking cool, calm and relaxed. The overwhelming favourite. Silver medalist in the World Juniors last year, European under-18 champion. Mancini's a good runner, 52.01. Following in the footsteps of some excellent 400 hurdlers from Italy. Philippe Landau, 15th fastest in Europe this year in this age group. Christian Colli, Frenchman, PB on the 20th of July, very proud Frenchman. Hard to believe, this very day last year, we were all in the Paris Olympic Stadium. And Rodorfer on the inside, national indoor champion on the 4 flat and the pole vault. Another who has flirted with decathlon. Rodorfer, Austria in 1, Colli, France in 2, Landau, Switzerland 3, Mancini, Italy 4, Rada the favourite for Czechia in 5, Parker the second quickest qualifier yesterday for Great Britain in 6, Moreno, Spain in 7, Rode of Germany in 8. Varner, Rada's teammate in the first semi-final, ran 51.40. The two non-automatic times at the moment, Bolognese and Brezina, both coming home with 51.96 in the first semi, separated by thousandths. Rada should make very smooth passage through to the final, and then he can really let the fireworks fly. What a pleasure to watch somebody of such talent. Rada goes in 5 in this semi-final 2 of the men's 4 hurdles. Well, he absolutely coasted round the heats, Michel Rada. Might not have it quite that easy. And Parker outside him, third from the left-hand side, has gone out very hard and has already taken up the stagger on Moreno. Rode the German has gone out lightning quick, but he had no option. And now Rada smoothly working past Ollie Parker, who was the second fastest of everyone in the heats. Cruise control for Rada. Can't afford to make any mistakes. A left leg lead. Mancini coming into the mix for the second spot. And Moreno beginning to rally as well. Parker's fighting furiously. Rada jogging across the line, 50.24. Moreno taking the second spot. Rounded down, 50.22. That was incredibly easy, and yet oh so impressive from Michael Rada. Nobody else in Europe in this age group has run that fast this year. And Moreno's reward with 50.75 is the first time in his life he's run inside 51 seconds. Parker definitely moves into a non-automatic spot with 51.35, and so too does Mancini with 51.49 and a PB for him. But Rada is, at the moment, unbeatable and entirely flawless.
Yes, what a superb display of technical hurdling. As we've commented so often in the past, at this age group level, quite often, even in the semi-finals of the European Under-20 Championships, some of the technique is a bit ragged, especially over the final 4 hurdles. Rada has his stride pattern just absolutely nailed down, changing around down to 14 strides down the back straight, and it's absolutely superb, smooth and flawless running.
The favourite dragged 3 others in that race to massive lifetime bests. Moreno will be in the final. Parker and Mancini might be.
As we get ready for the third and final men's 400 metres hurdles semi-final. I just wonder what's going through these men's brains after seeing that phenomenal performance from Michael Rada. Well, could it be 3 Czech hurdlers in the final? Stefan Balkar, weakest of the 3, has good chance. Nicolas Martinez, mentioned before, his father, Chaim Martinez, former European champion over 10,000 metres. David Damian, the Romanian, he could well be up there, 51.29 personal best. Thomas Canivat looked good in the heat, as did Quentin de Vos. Ardizoni of Italy in lane 3. And then we have 2 men who got through as fastest non-automatic qualifiers, starting with Janis Pruda and Ryan Mortada. Mortada rather disappointing in his run, in his heat. The Briton has a best of 51.29, but really didn't show his best form. Parker and Mancini, the men in the hot seat. So if you're coming home outside of the top 2, you need to run quicker than 51.49. On paper, and perhaps looking at the way they ran in the heats, keep your eyes on Canivet, Damian in lanes 5 and 6. Well, it is Damian who started very quickly, closing down the gap on Martinez in lane 7 at the moment. The Romanian having a really good start to this race. Has to be said also, Martinez out in lane 7. He's gone past Balkar halfway down the back straight. Damian absolutely flying at the moment. De Vos coming through really strongly as well. The Dutchman in lane 4 hurdling well. And it's possibly De Vos as the stagger starts to unwind and we come into the home straight, who's got a slight lead. Damian holding his place in second at the moment. Now, Canivet stumbled over that hurdle. 2 barriers to go. Now De Vos coming through really strongly, looking really good. This is a really quick run from the Dutchman. I'm wondering whether he can grab a personal best. Yeah, that is a massive personal best for the Dutchman. He's taken almost a second off his best time with that terrific run. Canivet, having made a real meal of hurdle 8, managed to recover and came through strongly to grab second place as Damien weakened. But De Vos, cometh the time, cometh the man, and that's a personal best by about half a second. Caneve also, despite struggling, came through so strongly.
Personal bests for the first 4. That's a huge lifetime mark. De Vos has never previously gone inside 51.4, and he's run 50.5, almost a second. And there was no point down that home straight where it looked like his body language and his form was fading. In fact, 5 of them with PBs. Amazing race.
Well, De Vos and Caneve, 1 and 2, and I can tell you that Damien and Ardizoni will take those fastest non-automatic qualifier slots as well.
Right. Hold on to your hats, everybody. Make a wish, count to 3. Are we about to see a championship record or an all-time European record? The overwhelming favourite, Michael Rada, is second from the outside. I wonder if it's an omen. It's a lane that Karsten Warholm loves out in 7, and Rada could well be a Warholm in the making. Absolutely phenomenal last year when he won the European Under-18 title in the baking heat of Banska Bystrica. It's not quite as warm here in Tampere, but his form is red hot. Sigurd Bergens on the outside, national champion last year. 50.8, that coming last month. Good form, but what an intimidating figure to know is going to be chasing you down. Michael Rada, the overwhelming favourite, the world under-20 silver medalist last year, the European under-18 champion, going for another gold. Iker Moreno, fabulous decathlete, former national championship silver medalist in the 10 events. PB to qualify, 50.75. Marek Varner, the second best in the field on times. Got a silver behind his friend and teammate last year in Slovakia. Quinten de Vos, national champion at the 400 and the 4 hurdles. The Dutchman in 4. Caneve, national champion last year and this for France. Big opportunity for him. Damien, a PB to qualify. Could he duck inside 51 seconds for the first time? And Ardizoni on the inside. He got a bronze last year, so all 3 medalists from Banska Bystrica are here ready to go. Ardizoni, Italy in 1, Damien, Romania 2, Caneve, France 3, De Vos, Netherlands 4, Varner, Czechia 5, Moreno, Spain in 6, Rada the favourite in 7, and Bergens of Sweden on the outside. The championship record is 49.23. The all-time European under-20 record is 48.74. If the wind dies down, we could see something very, very special from Michael Rada here. The favourite in 7 does history beckon. A big roar goes up from the crowd here in Finland. They recognise the talent on display. Good start by Damien on the inside. And right on the outside, Rada. It's steady rather than spectacular at the moment. Varner is up on Moreno. And now, Rada in the lead. Varner had a little stutter into that barrier. He looks like he's going well in second place at the moment, although De Vos will put him under pressure. This is about Rada and it's about the clock. This time he's straining. He was cruising in the heat and the semi. Watch the clock. Varner's trying to hang on for second, but Moreno on his outside, De Vos on his inside. How fast and by how much? 48.78. It's a new championship record. And by a whisker, he has just missed the 41-year-old all-time European under-20 record. He was working so hard for that. A brilliant performance from Rada. One that puts him right up there amongst the all-time junior greats. Moreno has smashed the Spanish national under-20 record to get on the podium with a wonderful 49.66. He was coming up on the outside of Varner and putting him under pressure. But the plaudits and the glory belong to Rada. He has smashed a championship record that has stood for more than a decade, and his list of achievements just keeps on growing and growing. What on earth will he achieve as a senior?
Well, he doesn't even need to worry about the senior ranks for another year. He's got another year in the under-20 ranks, and he's got the opportunity then of challenging that time of 48.74, which has been the European under-20 record since 1984. Stood to Vladimir Budko of the old Soviet Union. What a stunning run. We knew he was capable of something special, and he really worked hard for this one. He just coasted through his heat and semi-final. He didn't need to do any more on those occasions, but he was going for it. He was absolutely racing against the clock. And all credit to this man, Iker Moreno. He goes into the top 10 European all-time over these barriers with a national record of 49.66. 2 Czechs on the podium. Varner put in the shade a little bit by his compatriot, but just gets on the podium as well. 50.46, a personal best for him. Just look at that. De Vos doesn't get a medal, but he does get a national under-20 record. The Dutchman in 4th in 50.46. What a stunning run, though, from Michael Rada. That really is. Well, we were talking earlier about the highlights programme. We could have all of that from start to finish, without a doubt.
Championship record for the win. National under-20 record for silver. Personal best for 3rd. National under-20 record for 4th. There are parallels with the greatest 4 hurdles race in history from the Tokyo final in 21. All 4 of the men vying for the medals have surpassed anything they've done before. And Varner, diving over the line, denies De Vos a share of the bronze by, wait for this, 1,000th of a second. That was the difference between them.
That really was literally the thickness of a vest. Varner and Rada, good friends. They've been in teams all the way through the age group categories. And I'm just wondering whether we're going to see them get together again in the Czech 4x400 metre team. The Czechs squeaked into the final for tomorrow with very much their B team, their set of substitutes. They can bring in Rada, and he could be going for gold again.
That expression as he came into the home straight told you he was giving it everything. He jogged his way through the heats, he cruised his way through the semis, but that was Rada absolutely eyeballs out.
Looking at that picture of Iker Moreno as well on the right-hand side of your screen, well, he knew that a medal was on the cards as soon as he got off the last hurdle. He was neck and neck with Varner and De Vos, but then left them trailing in his wake as he pulled away to clinch the silver. But what more can you say about that man? That's going to be on the front pages of all the Czech sports papers. There are some. 48.78.
Remember the name Michael Rada, following in mighty footsteps, and I think that championship record will last for a very, very long time. Huge performance from Moreno for the silver, and Varner the bronze by 1,000th of a second.
Hey, I'm Ellis Fitzgerald, and you need to go and sign up to European Athletics U20.